Modes are simply different ways of ordering our diatonic collection. So for instance, you have a C major scale here, and if you start on C and end on C, we understand that to mean C major, or a C major collection of notes. But if you started on a different note, so in this case if you started on D instead of C and went D and then kept going past C back to D, and D was your boundary, you'd enter into a mode of some kind. So that's what this video is about today, and we're going to talk about how to do modes and how to figure them out and what they do. There are 4 modes we're going to talk about today. And the first ones we'll talk about are those modes that are most like a major scale. So basically these are modes that are going to have all the notes except for one of what we would consider a major key. So starting with C major, we're going to talk about the first major mode, and we call it Lydian. All we do in Lydian is take a major scale, find scale degree 4, and then raise it by a half step. So in this case, F sharp. So the Lydian mode is any major scale with a raised 4. So you can think of that as Phi, think of it as sharp 4, think of it as natural 4 if scale degree 4 is a flat key, etc. So Lydian major scale with a raised 4th scale degree. The other major mode, or the mode that's most similar to major, is Mixolydian. Mixolydian is going to take our major key, our major mode, find scale degree 7, and flat it. In this case, B flat, so te instead of T, and that gives us Mixolydian. So a major collection, major scale with a flat scale degree 7 gives us Mixolydian. So now that we've switched to C minor, we can talk about the minor modes, and there are 2 of those. The first minor mode we'll talk about is called Phrygian. So Phrygian is going to take our minor mode, in this case natural minor, so known as flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7 from C major, right, to make C minor. To create Phrygian, or to have a Phrygian mode, you find scale degree 2, or re, and lower it by a half step to create Ra. So you're now in Phrygian mode instead of the natural minor mode. The last mode we'll talk about is Dorian, the last of the minor modes. So this is going to take your minor mode, in this case C minor, find scale degree 6, and raise it by a half step. Since it's A flat already, we'll make that A natural. And now we're in C Dorian. So starting on C, but the pattern of whole steps and half steps has changed to create Dorian instead of our natural minor collection. So again, Dorian is the minor scale with raised scale degree 6. So in summary, we have 2 major modes, Lydian and Mixolydian. Lydian is like major, but with a raised scale degree 4, or Phi, and Mixolydian is like major with a flat scale degree 7, or te. In the minor modes, we have Dorian, which is like a minor scale, but with a raised scale degree 6, and Phrygian, which is like a minor scale, but with lowered scale degree 2. It's very useful and convenient to think about these modes as versions of the major or minor collection because it's easy to see in context and it's easier to think about, so you can figure out what that pattern of whole steps and half steps should be. There's one mode that we have not talked about in this video, and that's Locrian. We'll save that for another discussion because it's a little strange in that you have to make 2 changes to it. It's not really like major or like minor, but we'll talk about that when we need to in the future.